Uwe LeBouf, number 28, Chef Fit podcast. Where are you at, pal? Yeah, that's not the name of the podcast episode, by the way. I'm just asking you where you're at. Whoever you might be, wherever you might be. I want to know about it somewhere.
Where's the fucking beef, lads? Where's the
You sent me the definition of the plural of beef, and it's actually where are the beeves? Interesting.
beeves?
I thought you were
Beeves is the word for the plural of beef. I still don't believe that.
Yeah.
Someone said to me years ago, I was like, no. I was like, no, it's just beef. Like, he said, no, look it up. And you look it up, you Google it, and it's there in Oxford English Dictionary. You're like, nah, not having that. Not having beeves.
Man, fucking looking up definitions of words that you use a lot is a fucking great idea. Me and my brother are always calling people cretins. Like, yeah, he's a fucking absolute cretin. Let me pull up the definition of a cretin for you here, and I'll fucking give you a bit of a chuckle.
Yeah.
Cretin. A person.
Also,
what?
Well,
a person who is physically deformed and has learning difficulties because of a congenital thyroid deficiency.
okay. I'm down with that. See, now I only look up words on Urban Dictionary.
Yeah.
So
I was just going with the regular fucking Google search.
no, it's got to be Urban Dictionary. You should look up like a Mongolian blindfold on Urban Dictionary. That's where it starts. Once you get into that, then
do that on a podcast live, do I?
Yeah, Jesus, I don't know. You can read it anyway. That's for sure. So whenever you're finding a new word now, I check it on Urban Dictionary first.
Well,
that's how you roll.
Just cue the countdown music here while I'm searching this.
Yeah. This Cam searching is sponsored by 15-minute AMRAPs. Think you're in good shape? Think you're the man? Get yourself a 15-minute AMRAP. Mongolian blindfold. That's my favorite Urban Dictionary.
Oh God, what a fucking classic! That sounds like a bit of crack.
Look it up at your own time, lads.
Yeah, I'll leave that.
Here, look at these from the lad, right? I meant to ask you, are you gay or no gay?
Me, rolling in the gay at the moment, yeah.
Yeah. Are you going to compete?
I would hope to be when I'm fucking at a proficient level, but like the coach in there, Chris, rolling.
Like if a competition came up and there was people at your level, not like say in 6 months' time.
No, we said there's one in September, which is, I'm not going to give away the date. I'm not really too sure, but it's like he said that if I have 1, 2, 3, maybe 5 or 6 months experience at that stage, do you know what I mean? Potentially. I think it would be good just to suss it out. Like I was getting fucking, like I've only really gone into sparring in the past week or two. You know what I mean? And obviously getting like the lads who stay around for the sparring are generally blue belts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Getting fucking drilled out of it. Well, that was no-gi I did the other night. Still the same thing. I'm probably better in the gi at this stage because I've done a lot more training in it now. At this point, but yeah, that's obviously like I love to fucking compete, man. I love to compete, and that's what pushes me to get better at things, you know. So yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I was just curious to see if that was your plan, if you're just doing it for yourself, like you know that way.
Did you have 2 belts?
No, Killian has them for kickbox.
Good man. Yeah, like again. I don't like doing things, and as soon as I catch the bug for doing something, and this probably takes us into the episode, to be honest, like this, what I want to talk about is getting out of your comfort zone, or the ability, basically get comfortable being uncomfortable, chef. That's the title of this episode. Get comfortable being uncomfortable. And with that in mind, like Peter's just asked me about jiu-jitsu. So like I started doing jiu-jitsu. My 2 brothers started doing it ages ago, like a year and a half ago. They loved it. I saw the improvement in them, and I saw how they got into it and they really sunk their teeth into it. You know what I mean? And they fell in love with it in a very short space of time. And after a lot of resistance in my head, I'll do it when I have more time, yada, yada, yada. Eventually I got to the point where it was like, right, I'm doing Chef Fit. I'm doing it full time. I can create my own fucking schedule. I'll generally give myself that time off in the evening to go and do something. So I started doing it. And it was one of those things where the first couple of sessions, I'd say the first month or two, to be honest, are very nervy. Do you know what I mean? They're very like, oh, fuck. I'm rocking into a gym full of new people I've never met before. Everyone's wearing these fucking gis. I don't even know how to fucking tie the belt. You know what I mean? And it's like you're scared of looking like a fucking idiot. And for me, that is a comfort zone. That's me being totally out of my comfort zone because I've been so used to in any kind of physical setting being in my, you know, this is my comfort zone. I've been an athlete my whole life, you know, whether that was on the rugby pitch, in the gym, powerlifting at a competition, like that was always part of who I was. So that was always something that it was like when other people were like, oh, I fucking hate going to the gym. I was like, I can't agree with you because I've been doing it since I was fucking like 13, you know, so I don't know what you mean. And when I walked into jiu-jitsu, it's like, oh shit. And now all these thoughts in my mind that the same chefs that say to me all the time that they hate going into the gym because they think people are looking at them when I'm going in to do jiu-jitsu session and I'm rolling with a guy and we're going through the lessons. Like, fuck, if he's a bit more experienced than me or she's a bit more experienced than me, I really hope I don't look like a fucking idiot when I'm going through these moves. You know, if we're drilling something, it's like, shit, maybe I'm not doing that wrong. Do you mind if we go a little bit slower? All of these things, and it's like your heart rate is almost raised up because it's a new environment, it's new fucking skills. Your brain is working 1,000,000 miles a second to try and rationalize what you're being told. You're looking at shit and you're trying to put it into practice, and then it's not coming off the way you fucking saw it happening in front of you. And that's definitely the part for the course with anything that you start off with that's a skill. Now, when I went into spar the other day and we had another beginner's class, I walked out of there and sure, I got fucking tapped a load of times, but I was able to somewhat hold my own in a lot of situations. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't getting bullied around the place. I wasn't getting fucking absolutely mangled. And it was this whole case of, I actually really started to get this feeling, the resistance was gone. The resistance to it was gone. Before when I was coming in, I would nearly look for excuses not to go into jiu-jitsu. And now I got that feeling in my stomach like, no, I want to fucking be here. I want to stay on for the extra class after. And I want to try and get in on Sunday as well so I can get the extra session in because I don't want to fucking miss it. I don't want to miss a beat here. And that's what's kind of happened now recently, whereas that was not happening before. Again, I got comfortable where I was uncomfortable and you reap the rewards of doing that. So now I'm really sinking my teeth into something new because I pushed into the discomfort and it kept showing up. And now the discomfort that I was feeling, it's not there anymore. It's not there anymore. I'm not feeling that. I don't have that resistance now when I go to jiu-jitsu. What do these people think, this and that? It's like, I don't give a fuck. I'm just going in to do it. And that's
so you chill out there now? Will you chill out there now, or will you move the goalposts and you know, push yourself to get uncomfortable again so that
yeah, so you were asking me about the competition thing. Like, obviously, it takes you to new heights and I get comfortable in that environment. But now me being comfortable in that environment allows me to train more. And now when I
can focus better, you're not worried about how you're looking like a tour kind of thing.
You acquire the skill quicker, you know, and that's just one example. But it's this whole thought process. The biggest issue that a lot of chefs have is they're terrified to rock up to the gym. They're terrified to go out and do that thing because they're always, people are looking at me and this and that. You've got all these fucking stories built in your head, and I totally get it. I totally get it. But it's like everyone has fears. Everyone has resistance. It's what you do in the face of that that's important. You understand? And I had to identify that myself. I was driving to jiu-jitsu one night and I wanted to turn around. Like I was driving and I was parking up and I was sitting in the car. I was like, check my phone. You know, I think something had popped up in my phone. Someone had tried to contact me, and I actually nearly used it as an excuse not to go in because I get nervous about shit. And I was like, oh fuck, you know. I nearly turned around, and I was kind of thinking, it's like, I lead the fucking tribe. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, you would expect them to show up to the gym. What you mean? You know, when you have to check yourself in those situations, like, but it's universal that we all get those feelings. I get those feelings. You get those feelings. Everyone does, especially when you're doing something new that's out of your comfort zone. We all get that feeling. but it's how you act in the face of that that's important. And that for me was a turning point of me basically breaking apart an old version of myself. You know, the teenage Cam or the fucking younger Cameron probably would have given up, probably just would have made an excuse and said, nah, you know, I'll do it when I have more time, or I work too much and I can't, you know what I mean? I'm not going to do it unless I fucking get really fucking good and become a professional. Like, that was always my mindset towards shit, which is bollocks. And what I realized there is that's how far I've come in my own ability to lead myself, is that I'm able to identify the story that I'm telling myself and go, man, you gotta, this is the very reason that you've got to go. The very reason that the fact that you're uncomfortable right now is the reason that you must fucking go. Because when you push into discomfort, there's lessons. There's a heightened sense of fucking awareness. And this is the same for every fucking, like, think about this analogy. Chef goes to the gym. You're sitting in front of the bar, all right? Let's say you've got to bang out 15 to 20 push-ups, yeah? And you start the push-ups and you do 5, cool. You do 10, feeling a little bit of a burn. Do 12, yeah, I think I'll leave it there. That's what your mind tells you. You know you had to do 20, but you stopped at 12. Why? Because 12 reps was the point where you got out of your comfort zone. And as soon as shit starts getting to that discomfort, like gets into the discomfort stage, you'll stop. And that's why you'll always stagnate. You'll hit that point of resistance and then just go, no, that's enough. You know, hit that point of resistance, no, that's enough. Like for me, yeah, I'll just go to jiu-jitsu once per week. I still went to jiu-jitsu. It's like, nah, man. Like, if you want to get good at this shit, you're going to have to be going a minimum 2 or 3 times a week, a minimum. And it's like, cool. Well, that's the reality that I've got to fucking face. And it's the same thing with yourself, Chef. If you're in the gym and it's like the reps in front of you are the most important thing that you have to focus on. And the gains are going to be made in the last 5 reps, not the first 5 reps. It's pushing into the death zone that's important. You don't have to do it every single time, but it's something that you should be doing regularly, you know, frequently. You should be pushing into that fucking, shit, this is not nice, this is not good. Like going for a run, same thing. Running's a perfect example. Running literally shows you your stories, because you're not, especially when you're running on the road. Like I have a road up near my gaff that is kind of an ascending hill that leads up onto the motorway, you know, and I run that and it's just a straight line, you know, alongside, and I can look at the fucking grass and shit on the left, but I just put my headphones and I go for it, and it's pretty tough on the legs, you know, with any incline that you're running. It's 4.5K. I can add a little bit to make it a 5K, and I can also stop halfway and make it a 2K. Do you know what I mean? And when I do that run, all the fucking voices in my head are telling me to stop at the top and just turn back around instead of doing the loop. And when I get there, it's like I keep going. It's like, nah, fuck it, just do the loop, do the loop. What the fuck are you here for? If you're not going to do it a wholehearted go, like, what are you stopping for? And I can that story plays in my mind while I run. And eventually I just, whatever tune has to fucking go on, and I grit my teeth and I just fucking go for it and I keep moving. It's like, you don't get the gains unless you're willing to get uncomfortable. Like when I finish a 2.5K run, sure, I'm sweaty, sure, I feel all right. But if I finish a 4.5, 5K, all my worries wash away. All my worries wash away. Anything I was thinking of is gone. You know, my mind is fucking totally clear. And with anything, that only happens when you push into the discomfort. It only happens when you push into that area that you don't want to fucking do. Very good.
I would have thought chefs coming into Chef Fit is where I noticed that it wasn't really the story, but I would have thought chefs would have excelled with the uncomfortable, because not many other industries have this, but we, as you know, we have a thing called trial shifts, where you're going into a brand new kitchen on a Saturday night and you're thrown into the deep end, and you know you've got a sink or swim. Interview doesn't matter. It's all about the trial shift. It's not so much a thing anymore, or maybe it is on just out of the hotels and restaurants, but these are where the chef has to go in, and every chef has to do it, and every chef has to perform, and every chef has to go in there and feel squarely going in the door, and they have to pull it out of the bag. Like me personally, I do kind of well with that type of situation. Like whenever you put us under any type of pressure, I'd be the first one in, kind of thing.
Rise
you know
up.
That way. Yeah, but I'm a bit of a confident, cocky motherfucker anyway. Like, you know that way. So
Well, there's definitely a degree of fucking rising to the occasion. Like, I've always been a showman in that way as well. It was the same thing. I loved fucking big crowds. I loved playing bigger teams and all of that shit.
yeah, big time.
I get that totally.
With trial shifts, that's where chefs are every single time. They are put into a place, right? Where am I working? Over there. What do I have to do? You have to do all this. When do I have to do it? You have to do it now, or you don't get the fucking job.
Yeah.
You don't get to earn. You know that way.
Totally, 100%. I think that's very.
Chefs should have that mentality to get in there. Like, you know what I mean?
Well, that's because they think it's different. That's the thing. This is what people don't understand about things.
I suppose if you are a chef and you're going in to do chef things, but this is something.
But what I'm trying to say is the discomfort is universal, and the lessons that you learn from the discomfort are universal. However, chefs will fail to realize and see that. People are unaware of saying, like, most people see the gym as this thing that you have to hate going to, and diets are a fucking they make your life worse, but you have to do them if you want to fucking, change your body and all of these things. That's how they view it. It's a quick fix mentality. Whereas if you actually viewed it the same way you viewed a trial shift, it's like, fuck, if I want to get the fucking job here and I want to get into this kitchen, I'm going to have to go into an uncomfortable situation. I'm going to have to pull it out of the bag. It's like, you're going to have to dig into somewhere that you don't want to fucking go to. The thing
you can't hide on a trial shift for sure.
Totally. But it's that same analogy. Like, the discomfort leads to you getting the benefits, leads to you getting the reward. Go into that trial shift, do something really uncomfortable for 4 or 5 hours on a service, and then you get a job. Go to the gym and force yourself to go for fucking 2 or 3 weeks, and then the reward is your fitness is improved, your energy is improved, and now you're used to going to the gym, so you don't have to overthink it every single time. But again, most people are not willing to push through that discomfort. Obviously, for chefs, I think, like, a lot of them can be very outside the kitchen, and this is an episode that we talked about before. Standards are very high within the kitchen. Expect very little from yourself outside it. You know what I mean? Like, you expect very little for yourself because there's a justification there that the industry is the problem and you're working more hours than everyone and you're fucking tired, which is all true, which is all fucking true. But again, that doesn't excuse you from not living a life outside the kitchen. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can use the excuse, or you can fucking move forward and you can deal with it. And if you decide to deal with it, then you got to realize that it's going to be uncomfortable initially. And once it's uncomfortable and you're willing to push into that discomfort, you will get the rewards eventually. Do you know what I mean? And it's the same thing with anything. Discomfort then leads to competency, and then competency leads to result. And we talked about this in our last episode. It's like fucking about drilling it till you kill it and getting good at something. It's going to be uncomfortable first, then you're going to develop the skill, then you're going to develop the habit, and then you're going to develop a lifelong sustainable change and a result in your life. But you'll just stop at discomfort and go, well, that doesn't work. No, it didn't work because you weren't willing to show up when you didn't want to. That's why it didn't work. It's not that thing doesn't work, it's that you did not work it.
Of course, at the start, it's easier to not do the thing.
Totally. Very much so. But you've also got to realize that things get easier. Things get easier the more you show up to them. Like, nothing good comes easy at the same time. Nothing good comes easy. You've got to be able to show up when you don't want to fucking do it, man. You really do. You really, really fucking do.
I felt like a pleb the first time. Like, when we started off, when I was using the free weights for the first time, like an absolute tool. And I prayed that there was nobody watching.
Yeah, totally, man. Totally. And now look at you. Good example. Now look at you. Totally different. You relish it. You're looking to improve your fucking lifts. You deadlifted fucking 140, And it's like, yeah, there we go. We're fucking moving forward with everything now. There's no mincing about. And that comes from getting yourself to the point where you're past the dead zone, which is you're highly uncomfortable starting off.
Yeah. You
have to get through that.
I felt awful squirrely.
Well, the other thing is, it's not just about the beginning, it's about as you go then. Like, once you get comfortable, then you have to push on to something else that's not comfortable.
Challenge yourself.
Yeah. So in the Chef Fit Elite, it's like we have beginner programs, we have intermediate, and we have an advanced program. And it's like, for any of the chefs that come in, like, you will fucking start off at beginner. Once you get good at beginner and you can hit all the goal weights that I have set for you on the simple exercises, move up to intermediate. Then you master intermediate exercises. You're able to hit all those weights. Then you move on to advanced. Like, it's not just you start going to the gym and it's always fucking rosy. It's like, no, you get used to going to the gym, but now you have to make yourself uncomfortable with what you're doing in the gym. And if you want to fucking change how your body looks and feels, you're going to have to get uncomfortable. You're going to have to push heavier weights. You're going to have to do more reps. You're going to have to do more sets. You're going to have to move on to a tougher exercise. You know, do a fucking, you know, instead of doing push-ups on a barbell, now you're doing push-ups on a floor. Instead of doing squats with a dumbbell on your fucking hands, now you're doing it with a bar on your back. You know, all of these things, you're making things more
build up to it, yeah.
Yeah.
And then the next step is going to make you feel uncomfortable.
Yeah. And you always push on to something else as well. So as Peter was talking about earlier on, when I looked up the definition of a Mongolian blindfold, it was like...
I say that made you quite uncomfortable.
Big time. That would make me uncomfortable, you know. But I'd go through it. I'd be willing to go through it. No.
So that's what it's called. That's not what my uncle called it.
Old Uncle Paddy, he was a good lad. I didn't understand what he meant at the time. But what was I saying there? Other things, like Peter was talking about a 15-minute AMRAP. Like, I get the lads to do density blocks every 3 or 4 months in the program. You know, we'll throw in things like chippers, which are absolutely brutal. Like, they're brutal ways of training. You know, 15 minutes, here's 4 exercises. Get as many rounds done as you want. I do that deliberately to make you uncomfortable.
But it was always 10, Cam. It was always 10 minutes.
I threw 15 in there at some points in the game. Now it's, but I pulled it back, and Dad's like, nah, you're getting it in the neck now, pal. Fuck yous.
Fuck yous. That's what you said.
Good for you. So again, the 15 minutes, and it's like, cool, you're not going to be comfortable. You're not doing the same exercises. You're not doing the same reps 4 weeks in a row. You're fucking changing it up now. You're really making a push. You're trying to beat and set records for yourself every single.
Of course, if it was easy, everybody would fucking do it.
Exactly. But because I challenge you on that front, because I challenge you with new exercises, new weights, all of that, all of a sudden you start to adapt and you start to change and you start to get the fucking benefits. That is absolutely vital to changing your life.
That's what it's all about, isn't it?
Totally, man. 110%. So it's like standing on the edge of a cliff, and at the bottom of the cliff, like, that's where all your hopes and dreams are. And right now you're very comfortable. You've got a fucking picnic chair on the top of the cliff. You've got your house there. You've got the TV there. You got the fucking Xbox. You know, you got food, snacks, fucking ice cold beer. It's really good up on the top of the cliff. Happy days. Even got a little fucking umbrella there in case you get the sun on you. And you're sitting up there, but you're comfortable and you're stagnant and you're like, this is fine, but it's not really. Like, I'm fucking overweight. I'm fucking no energy. I feel like shit. You know, I'm not motivated. My headspace isn't good. And you're looking over the bottom of the cliff and you're going, Jesus, that must be amazing. You know, it must be amazing to have, you know, to be lean and confident. It must be amazing to be really fit and not have a cramp in your hips when you're clipping your toenails. It must be great to be able to wake up on your day off and actually get up to be fucking productive. It must be great to have sex with the fucking lights on. You know what I mean? It's like, that's what waits for you down below at the bottom of that cliff. But unfortunately, it's going to be an uncomfortable experience to jump off the fucking cliff to get there. And right now, you're not jumping off the cliff to get there. And that's the biggest problem. So that's what that zone is. It's like, if you want to get to the hopes and dreams, you got to be willing to jump off the cliff. And if you're not willing to jump off the cliff, don't complain. Don't fucking complain. Life's about choices. We all have choices. If you don't want to make the fucking choice to be better and do something about it, or at least make that attempt and give it everything you got, then I don't want to fucking hear your bullshit. I really don't, man. You know, I really
chefs versus civilians, Cam. Who do you find, or would it be the same type of resistance to getting into that uncomfortable place?
It's a human trait. It's a human trait, not unique to chefs. The only problem is, it's just the way that chefs spin it. Like, everyone, like, I was training people doing 40-hour fucking 35, 40-hour weeks, 9 to 5s in offices, and I was still hearing, oh, but my job is so busy and I just can't. It's like, fuck off. You know what I mean? chef thing was, it's because the industry is unfair, which it is, and the hours are long and all of these things, that they're a bit more justified in not getting out of their comfort zone. But again, I'm not here to talk about your fucking problems and give you a pat on the back. I'm here to tell you what you need to do to fucking solve your problems. And the only way that you solve your problems is that you overcome your bullshit stories and you overcome your excuses, overcome your barriers, and you get it done. Get out of your comfort zone. So ask yourself, whatever you're doing today or tomorrow, whatever the fuck you have planned for the week, like, am I just staying where I like to be? Am I just doing what I like to do? Or am I doing shit that challenges me? Like, if you like going to doing your bit of cardio, there's a few lads in the chef who do that, you know, and it's like, do a 10K, or great at running, so all they do is run. And it's like, no, man, you need to be in the fucking gym. You need to be lifting, because your chain is only as strong as your weakest link. And if your weak link is dog shit, then it's going to pull everything else down, and you're always going to be held back by that. So you need to get out of your comfort zone and address your weak links and do the shit that you don't like doing. That's the key to success. Do shit that you don't like fucking doing. I'm not saying don't double down on your strengths. Absolutely double down on strengths, but like, make sure that you're competent in your weaknesses as well. And again, you only do that when you're willing to get uncomfortable. Get comfortable being uncomfortable.
I'm cycling less, lifting more, and running more.
Yeah, totally.
If this was a cycling program, I'd be all over it.
Yeah, totally. But that would make you one-dimensional.
Yeah.
Massively one-dimensional. And I guarantee you wouldn't be in half the shape you're in right now as a result.
Right, I wouldn't.
No, because first off, like, cardio is great, but it's not like, who the fuck wants to look like a marathon runner? Nobody. So it's like, it's that same premise. Like, you want to have, in terms of fitness, like, unless you're a specific athlete, you need to be good across all domains. Go and look at the
specific athletes are good at everything in order to become the best at one thing. Like, a sprinter is not just going to sprint. A sprinter is going to do more fucking squats or lifts than anybody else.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, some of the training for the 100 or 200 meters.
Yeah, that was their foundation. They're excellent athletes across the board. Do you know what I mean? But it's also like having a mixture of shit. Like, obviously variety is important. Like, go and look at CrossFitters. Go and look at elite CrossFitters. They look like fucking superhumans, you know? But they're in great shape. They're not freakish bodybuilders. They carry a lot of muscle. They're very lean. They're very fast. They're very fit. They're good across the board because they do a lot of shit that makes them uncomfortable. You got big, muscular, you know, men and women who are also able to run fucking 10Ks, no problem, bang out pull-ups, you know, and fucking be able to move. And your body shape tends to look like that when you start fucking mixing things up. You are what you repeatedly do. You know, you are what you repeatedly do. And you're a good example of that, Peter. It's like, I looked at you doing your deadlifts last week, and it's like, I could see the difference in your shape. That comes from getting strong. That comes from fucking building some muscle and putting some fucking timber on the frame. The weight.
I also have the 3 or 4 deadlift videos that I sent you 4 months ago, 3 months ago, 2 months ago as well. Yeah. And the difference in that. Now, I've done it 100 times since then.
Totally.
Do you know what I mean?
Totally. Which was probably a little bit alien at first. But you see.
Fucking right it was.
But the point is, it's the addressing the weak link. Most people don't look at their weaknesses and address them. You will go to your weak link and it's like, no, I'm going to fucking drill this thing until I get fucking good at it, you know, until I get the benefits. So now you're really aerobically fit. You can run fucking 10Ks, no bother. You can get on the bike and you can do over 100 kilometers. That's no problem. But you can also get in the gym and you can fucking move some pig iron around as well. And your body starts to resemble that and your fitness starts to resemble that. And it's vital that you make the push across the board. If you want the absolute.
And you know what, Cam? I fucking love it.
Yeah, exactly. Loves it. 100%.
Love it.
Yeah, smashing it out. That's what it's all about. Give us a thumbs up on the fucking video on YouTube if you're watching it there. Subscribe to the channel. 5-star review on iTunes. Give us a subscribe and a follow on Podbean. For any.
Share it with your friends.
Yeah.
Tag the chefs that need to hear it.
Facts.
That's important.
Yeah. Share a lot.
You're here for a reason, chef. And you know other chefs that need to hear this.
Yeah. Exactly. Facebook, fucking Instagram, Twitter, share it. Check yourself before you fucking wreck yourself. Shotgun bullets. Bad for your health. Peace.